Hi guys, it's Fire Robotics 16953, and today we have another tutorial for you guys today. So we use Fusion 360. Fusion 360 is an extremely versatile CAD software which essentially allows you to create any project for a variety of different fields. Now as a team, we personally use it to create our assemblies and to create custom parts. Assemblies are essentially just the robot put into CAD. So Fusion 360 is a really beneficial software, and if you learn how to use it, it's really helpful. However, one of the biggest challenges with learning how to use it is the difficulty to navigate it. There's just so many different tools and features and whatnot that you can use, and it just sucks navigating through all of this. As you can see, there's just so many different features up here, all of this. So today we'll break down to you how to easily navigate through that by creating a gear. So let's just start by breaking down what we see in front of us. So on the left, you can see the projects, libraries, and samples. So essentially, if you create anything or upload anything to Fusion, you'll see this over here. So as you can see, this is the new project that I created. And so in this project browser over here, actually we'll get into that later, and we'll show you how extremely useful it can be. It essentially becomes your best friend. Up at the top, you can see a bunch of different tabs, and in all of these tabs there's even more tools to use, which just shows how big of an application Fusion is and how hard it is to navigate it without knowing how to do so properly. So as I said, we're going to be creating a gear. So the first step to do that is we have to select create sketch. It's like whenever you create anything custom, you'll always start by creating a sketch. So let's hit create sketch. Let's select the plane. Let's click circle. So because we're gonna be making a gear, so we need the base circle. So then let's plot our first point, and let's do 50 millimeters. All right, 50 millimeters. All right, so there we go. Now we have our circle that has 50 millimeters. Now we could have gone through like the tab up here with the sketch tab. However, a different way to do it, and honestly, the way we can navigate this easily and quickly, is if we delete that, we can type S for search, and then we can type circle. We go down to center diameter circle, and then we can plot. So let's do the 50 millimeter circle. There we go. Alright, so now what we need to do is we need to make the teeth of our gears. So what we need to do is we click line, or we can search it, but since the line tool is right there, we'll just click through that. Let's plot our first points, and then let's do the other side. Now it's not perfect, it's a really quick ragtag tooth that we're making, but it'll do for now. Alright, so now you would have to essentially just create all of these teeth equally in the same size at the same distances around this circle to make the gear, but that just takes a really long time and is going to be really difficult to do so perfectly. So what we can do instead is we can type S circular pattern and click that. So now we can select our objects. So we select this, and then we have to select our center point. So you select our center point over here, and now it shows 3 different teeth. So a gear obviously probably is gonna have more, so let's delete that, and let's try 12. Okay, so I think 12 works, but let's do 14. Alright, so 14 works pretty well. But I think we can add maybe a few more. Let's try 16. Alright, there you go, perfect. So now we click OK, and we have essentially 16 teeth on our gear. However, you notice that this gear is only 2-dimensional, and you can't actually make anything with it. So we can fix that by extruding it. Extruding it essentially like takes it out and like lengthens it. I'll show you. So we type S, extrude, right here. So we click whatever faces we need to extrude. So we can just we can select the whole gear. Wait, let's type that again. Extrude select the entire thing, and let's type 5mm for extruding. We extrude 5mm. So we set OK, and there we go. Now we have our gear that's extruded out. However, you notice that if we want to like attach it to something, there has to be a hole in the middle for you to attach it to. So we can do that by two different methods. We can extrude a circle in the middle, but that's just going to take a really long time. So what we can do is we can do search and type hole. So we go to the hole tool. Let's just select our frontal face. And let's hit there. So let's go to the middle. That's the middle of our thing. And I have a preset of 5mm at a 25mm depth. You can set that to whatever you want, but it'll essentially create a hole through the entire thing. So let's go back to the top view, and let's hit OK. So now you can see that we have a screw hole to attach the gear to whatever motor or whatnot that you need to attach it to. So now you can see that we have our gear. However, let's say we want to joint this or attach this to another gear. We'd have to create a whole other gear then. And let's just do that really quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same process. Create sketch. Circle. Okay, so we select our plane. S circle. So let's do 50mm. Let's make our teeth. You know, let's make it a little bit longer. Alright, there we go. Now we do the same. Okay, so now I have both of my gears, as you can see. And so let's say I want to orient these to face forward and have them both connecting. So let's have the front view, and we need to move them and rotate them. So what we can do to quickly drag and drop them is we can go to our bodies, open our bodies, and you can see that these are created into bodies. If we want to easily manage them and move them, we should turn them into components. So we right click this, hit create component from bodies, go to our other body, create component. So now we call this gear 1 and then gear 2. So let's select both of these. Let's hit unground from parent. That allows you to easily move these. So we hit unground from parent, then we hit move and copy. We rotate these 90 degrees, and let's move them up a couple millimeters. Now we hit OK. Now we can see that they're both facing front, right? But let's say we want to connect them into together. Let's interlock their gears. So what we can do is we can select one gear. We can hit the joint button over here. Joint is a really useful tool. It allows you to connect two different components. So let's hit joint. Let's select our component. So let's select our point, and let's joint it here. And so it'll move to connect. Now obviously I haven't properly made these and planned these out, but once you do plan these out properly, you can joint them and you can make them so that they fit each other perfectly. And that's how we create good, high quality custom parts. So using the joint feature, we can check how well these fit, and while these don't fit really well, it's easy to connect them. And what this joint feature also does is when you move one, it'll move with the other. Alright, so let's move this. Clicked off of that. Alright, there you go. Damn. So yeah, you can see it moves with the other component. So essentially what I want you guys to take away from this tutorial is that whenever you're finding or searching for a tool, instead of spending your time scrolling through every single tab, you can just hit S. You can just hit S and then search for whatever you want. So we could search for like revolve or revolve. Now this is just gonna turn into some weird thing, but yeah. So revolving this is gonna be really weird and it's gonna be really annoying, but yeah, it's really easy to just search for whatever you want. So thank you guys for watching, and that's all we have for you. We'll catch you next time.